Girl, I'm ready. I stay ready. My
I
guest
see
didn't
that.
show. My guest didn't show today, so I'm just having a mono solo cast is what they call it, or a monologue or whatever. But I'm just doing my own little soliloquy here, talking about this little
Oh,
black boy who was majorly traumatized by his family members on Friday, and they went live with the video, and they did really bad things to him. He's about 7 years
mm,
old, between 7 and 9, and
mhm.
apparently they said, oh, he's a punk because he's gay or he's effeminate. And so, yeah, and
Mm,
it went viral. And I'm just talking about black on black trauma here. I'm just talking about the fact that we don't think about it when we inflict trauma to our, when it's self-directed and self-inflicted trauma. But I was saying that day, I said, if this was a white family that did this to this black boy, we will not hear the end of it.
right.
And so on Friday, I had made a post that I said, why do we look down on the victim of sexual assault and look
Mm,
away from the perpetrators? And I was saying how I
mm,
got a lot of, and I think maybe you also commented, how a lot of people just showed up and just come out. I was just so happy that people were talking about the fact that we should not castigate the victim. Why?
right.
And so over the
Right.
weekend, someone else shared Oprah's podcast with me, which I just thought was powerful. She was talking to this lady
Mm-hmm.
also about women and patriarchy and how we condone, or rather allow, the toxic masculinity in and actually make excuses for that. But then we look
Mm-hmm.
down on our children who are the
Mm-hmm.
victims, or women or whatever. So that's kind of what we're talking about. And my guest didn't show, so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do a nice little solo thing, and then I'll call it a day. So Shwanda, you are actually a vice principal. So it's an
Yeah.
amazing thing because you are in the space where you get to pour into children on a daily basis. And you might be some of the kids' parent, the only
Yeah,
parent that
absolutely.
they know. So tell
Yeah.
me your thoughts, if you have any. First of all, I know that the show is called The Pride Corner, Our Coming Out Stories and More, where we talk to people in the queer community or allies or friends,
Uh-huh.
romance or
Mm-hmm.
countrymen. But what is
Mm-hmm.
your, so first of all, what is your category in that whole spiel? Are you an ally, a friend, Roman? What are you in this space?
I'm a friend.
I'm a friend. You're a friend. Fantastic. So you're coming into the space as a friend. Of course, you're my friend. I know that. But as a friend, but also the role that you play in your school, you could probably be some of the kids' only
Ally.
parents. Right? And of
Mm-hmm.
course, ally too, just a true ally. I think a friend is an ally. So when you said friend, of course, I assume that that's an ally. But
Mm-hmm.
talking about a child like this little boy whose
Mm-hmm.
family
Mm-hmm.
videotaped him being
Mm-hmm.
abused and insulted, and apparently they cut his hair all the way back to
Oh my
here,
God.
and then they wrote the word gay. They carved the word gay on it.
Oh my God.
And yes, I didn't watch it because I get triggered. I get
Mm.
triggered. And so,
Mm.
for people that want, and I think Juanita, if you're still here, just say yes if you watched it or you watched something about it, because I know Juanita was the one that gave us the updates that the little boy went
Mm-hmm.
live on social media,
Mm.
taking up sides for his family. And I was like, I don't believe that bullshit. He was coerced to do that. Juanita says yes.
Mm.
Juanita, thank you. He was coerced to do that. So anyway, Shwanda, what are your thoughts about this kind of cruel treatment that is self-inflicted by us to us? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that because there is within the church, and I have to say it, oh my goodness, I'm going to get in trouble. But in the Black community, the diaspora, period, Black,
Period.
there, period, in the Black community, there is a disdain in the church that is taught from the pulpit that if a person is oriented other than what they consider as the norm, then it is not of God. Then it is not of God. It must be demonic. And if it's demonic, then there must be something that must be done to it and for it. So you have so many Black people that are suffering in silence because there isn't acceptance. There's no, now, I'm telling you, very few in diaspora accept. You understand? So there's a growing number that's saying, live your life, right? I'm one of those people. I love my children. I love my family. I love whether you are gay, whether you're straight, whether you're binary, whether you are queer. None of that matter to me. I love the person.
Thank you.
And no one is concerned.
Love, but that is the kind of love that Jesus preached. The true love that is unconditional. In the book of Corinthians, when they give all the qualities of love, none of them said love was subjective or love was choosy or love is conditional. But that's from the same book. So, but you are basically at an intersection between Christian, because I know you love your Jesus, you love your God, and then being a vice principal of a school where you are a parent to these kids who are looking to anyone for validation, to see them as they are.
Mm-hmm. They need affirmation. So, and especially when you have teenage children, they're already going through so much in their life. They don't need anyone badgering them. They don't need anyone bashing them down, putting them down. You're already trying to learn who you are. So whoever that child is, when that child comes to me, and I do have children, I have had children that have been gay, and they would come to me and I say, you have to love who you are, because if you don't love who you are, then you allow people to define you. And if people define you, then they get to determine your future, and then your future ends up how they want it and not how God planned it for you. So I really want people to have self-love. You have to have self-love, not based on the norms of society, but based on what God has instilled in you, and whatever that is, because God makes no mistakes. So I don't want any child going in about thinking that they are a mistake. I come out of a very dogmatic family. So I knew, and something in me started changing the more I began to work with children. Yes. And then the more children start opening themselves up to me, I was like, God, you cannot hate this child. And so that's what I began to believe. I said, God does not hate this child. So as I began to learn children and begin to know children, I began to learn the spirit. The child, the spirit. We're only looking at a physical manifestation. When you get to know the spirit of a person, that's when you begin to love them. You love the spirit of the child, because we are not our sexual orientation. We are all spiritual beings.
I love it.
We're not,
you're more than a sexual orientation. You're more than being Black. You're more than being a woman. You're more than being dreadlocks. You're more than all of that.
Absolutely.
And this way, sister, you are preaching to me this morning. I'm so happy your afternoon. So happy that you're saying all these words. And so if you can hear my voice, please send flowers to my sister, to my guest today, because I basically volunteered her. But look at what she's talking about. You are more than all the labels.
Yes.
And you must see yourself as whole.
That's right. And it starts with self-love. I always tell people, I said, I tell my children all the time, I said, you know what? If you don't learn to love yourself, who you are, regardless of what people say about you, no matter what you choose, if you don't learn to love you, you're not going to love anything about life. You're going to look at the sky and it's not going to be beautiful. You're going to look at trees. You're going to look at grass. You're going to look at birds. And as beautiful as these things are made, because you don't love yourself, you cannot see the beauty in life, and you'll never be able to love.
Yes.
So I think it's very important.
Guru Danupe, welcome. Bookworm Sigma, welcome. This is so amazing. I'm being joined. So first of all, my name is Dr. Lulu. If you're just joining, because I've never met these people before, so welcome to the Pride Corner, my little corner right there. And these are my flags. I have the American flag, the Nigerian flag, the trans flag, the LGBT flag, and my wife's Liberian flag. I gotta put that in there. But here's the point. I'm joined by a messenger today, nothing short of a messenger, who has a message to deliver, that it almost always comes down to self-love. But then again, on the same vein, you can see that people only give to you what they already have inside. So when that person is hating on you, that is actually their own self-hatred that they are
That's
giving
right.
into you. Their
That's
own,
right.
because they can't fathom it, they can't put it around their head that you dare to be beautiful. Look at you, you're beautiful, you've got beautiful hair, you are living in your purpose. Oh no, we gotta find something to bring her down.
Yeah.
We gotta find something negative to say. And then if you now allow that message to come through, then you have basically, like you said, you're now living the life that they want you to live.
That's right. And
And
not
you're
your
not
purpose.
living in your own purpose and the message that God has had for you, which is
That's
only
right.
uniquely yours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
You know, I wanted to say this, Dr. Lulu, that I noticed because see, here's something. This is why I tell people about anything about their life. But when we have people that begin to, especially during Pride Month, people begin, especially Christians, begin to say things. And I said, well, wait a minute. We serve a God that is a spirit. And he sees our spirit. So what you do in this body is going to cause you to burn for eternity? No, it's not. That's what people have to start seeing, because we want to put this is a sin, this is a sin, this is a sin. I said, but if God is a spirit, then he's not looking at what's being done with this, it's what's being done in your spirit.
Your heart,
Is your spirit,
yes.
is your heart corrupt? That's what sins you, not what you do in this natural body. Are you corrupt in your heart? And
That
so
is so
I have
powerful.
this battle. I have this battle because, I'm like, I don't want to have hate for anyone, race, religion, orientation. I don't want to have hate because that's not who God is.
That's not from God. Exactly. Hate,
God is
there's no
love.
way you can there's no way in any country language. I had a phone call. There's no country language, no part of the world where hatred can be of God. I don't care
None.
who you are. And I love that because I knew that, but I haven't really embodied that. That if you have hatred in your heart, I don't care if it's KKK looking down at black people, or Christians looking down at gays, or white people, Karen calling the popo on a small child,
Right.
whatever it is, if it comes from hate, then it
Yes.
cannot come from God.
It cannot be of
Simple.
God because God is love.
Because God is love, the direct opposite of that.
That's right. That's right.
Wow, I've never even really thought about it that way. That is so amazing.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
so amazing. So in your work as a vice principal, do you, or how do you, because I know you already do, how do you therefore minister to these kids who, whether it's because they're gay, they're queer, or they're black, or they're Hispanic, but because somebody out there sees them as not enough, how do you minister to these kids?
Very quietly, I take them over to the side and I tell them, the only person who matters is you, what you think about yourself. I said, it doesn't matter what people call you, but it always matters what you respond to.
Boom!
So I said, if you respond to it, that means that you believe it. So I would do this little sample with them. I tell them to go over there, and then I start calling a name that I know it's not their name. So let's say, for example, the person's name is Sam, and I'll start saying John, and they're standing over there, John. And I said, why didn't you answer me? They said, and the boy said, because my name is not John, it's Sam. I said, aha. So that means that you don't respond to anything that people call you. You respond to what you call yourself.
Exactly.
So he understood. I said, okay, there you have it.
You know what? That is so powerful. I think I'm going to use that somewhere in the future. I think it is so powerful. And I say that because part of the things that one of the parents in my Facebook group said recently was, she said, I hate, she used the word hate, which I think is such a powerful word
Mm-hmm.
in the negative, in the wrong direction. But she said, I
Mm-hmm.
hate that my child wants to change his name. And one of the things that
Ah.
we talk about in the queer community is people who are trans, kids who
Mm-hmm.
have what they call a dead name, which is the name
Mm-hmm.
that maybe, my name is Uche, for instance. Uche happens to be a
Mm-hmm.
unisex name. So maybe Uche is
Right. It's
like Neka or something, which is a
right.
very, very, very obviously girl's name.
Girl
Okay,
name.
so
Uh-huh.
imagine, yeah, so imagine, or Amaka, you know, imagine my name is Amaka, and Amaka is almost always a girl's name. And then I
Girl.
decided that, well,
Mm-hmm.
you know what, I want to change from Amaka to Emeka because I'm a trans male. So
Yeah.
the lady said, I hate that my child wants to change his name. And it took a
Mm.
bunch of us to tell her, to ask her what is really what is at the crux of that hatred? Is it the
Mm-hmm.
name? Or is it because you
Mm.
put a lot of effort into picking the name? And then one of the
Yeah.
guys even said, what if you don't look at it as this name is, I hate this, as opposed to, I now welcome this new person, this
Yeah.
person that I'm gaining a
Mm-hmm.
daughter, maybe, or I'm gaining a son, whatever, but I'm also
Mm-hmm.
gaining their name. And now,
Yeah.
rather, I hate that you want to change your name. What about, well, would you like me, or I would like to be part of picking the new name, to become a part of the process, as opposed to stay in
Mm-hmm.
this corner and just keep
Mm-hmm.
hating in this corner and not wanting to say, well, wow, you picked John. Well, tell me
Mm-hmm.
about
Mm-hmm.
what the thoughts that went into your head and the process, how you came about picking this name, John,
Yeah.
so that I am now
Yeah.
part of the new name. So I'm
Journey.
also
Yes.
not
Yes.
inadvertently alienating my child, because
That's
she said,
right.
well, I'm not gonna tell him that I hate that. I said, you don't have to tell him. He will know.
Yeah. Right. Because you sense it because we're spiritual beings.
Yes. Because,
You
and you know the
discern
funny
it.
thing, exactly. And children, children have that seventh sense. They have it.
Yeah.
They will sense it,
Mm-hmm.
baby. They might not say
Yeah.
anything. And then kids
Yeah.
are so trusting, and they so want to be accepted so much,
Yes.
so that when you don't
Yeah.
accept them, that betrayal
Uh-huh.
lasts a lifetime.
A lifetime. Yeah. Sure will. And when, especially when it's like the person that you love and you value, like your mom, your
Like your
dad,
mother.
your family, the woman who carried you and she doesn't embrace you, it can be a hard life, a hard experience when your mom, a lot of people, they're used to a daddy in this society not being around,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But
Mother.
when your mom does it, it's like, how do you come back from that? How do you regenerate your life? How do you regenerate your mind and your soul when the woman who bore you and carried you for 9 months decides that you weren't enough?
It's
So
so
that,
powerful. It's
yeah, so it
so,
can be
forget
very
the
trying.
fact that there are people out there too, women who are trying to have a child, who can't even have
Yes,
one child. And but
yeah,
more so, for some reason, you're right. I never thought about it that way. In this society, which is the US,
yeah,
there's more prevalence of
yeah.
fatherlessness. So
Yes,
it's almost like, I wouldn't ever use the word is acceptable, never. But it's more
no,
prevalent. So it's so we see it more. But when you
yes,
have a mother turn their back on you,
uh-huh,
I think that is probably, you're right,
yes,
the most painful.
yeah, it
Wow.
is. It's the most painful when mom turns her back. Because in this Western society, especially in America, US, we have gotten accustomed to seeing families without fathers. So it's commonplace because moms are always there for their child regardless. So when a mom turns her heart and her back, and when that turning the back is symbolic of turning her heart shutting
Yes.
it down from a child. So
Yes.
when mom turns her back or shuts down her heart, then how does the child recover?
How does,
How?
you know what? Here's the thing. The child will not even have the desire to recover.
Mm-hmm.
They won't
That's
even
right.
have the desire. Because that's the
Mm-hmm.
thing. So it's like, okay, the dad abandoned you. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
at least your mom is there. But then you're
Yeah.
down, and then someone comes and that kind of hits you further
Mm,
down. I can see
my God.
how the child will have the desire to jump
That's
to
true.
their death.
That's true.
And so, parents, if you can hear me, I want you to just believe that your role is the most important role.
The
And
most important.
I don't want to say mother, father, because I know that there are some single dads out there who are holding it down. But if
Holding it down.
you, yes, if you are blessed, or if you have been blessed to be a father, to be a mother rather, I want you to know that there's no pain as painful as that. If you turn your,
Yeah.
and I like the way you put it, your back and your heart.
Yes.
It signifies
Yes.
the back and the heart. So if you
Yes.
can hear me, please send flowers to my guest today. It's 1:30. I like to reset the room, as it were, at the every quarter. So the show is called The Pride Corner, Our Coming Out Stories and More. My name is Dr. Lulu. I'm the host, beautiful host. And I have
Yes.
today another beautiful sister who is just pouring out nugget after nugget after nugget about the importance of parental love. At the
Yes.
end of the day, you have to go and give testament to your creator of what you did
Yes.
with the child that they gave to you. I don't know if you
That's
know
right.
that. I don't
That's
know if
right.
you know that. And if you know that it's
Mm-hmm.
not your place to poke
Mm-hmm.
holes into what God created and said with their own mouth that this is good.
That's right. Yep. Isn't that something? I was having a conversation, and this man told me, he said, in the English language, we say good, better, best. But if God said something is good, it is better than the best.
Thank you.
Yes. So
If God
everything God
said
made was
it's good.
good.
Exactly. For those Bible toters out there,
Yeah.
welcome to the party, Destiny Midwife and Judy Palin, my sister. When God spoke with their own mouth that this
Yes.
is good, my creation is good, my
Yes.
children are good,
Yes.
fishes in the sea, the sky, the earth, everything is
Yes.
good. How dare
Yes.
you, man? Where do you find the wherewithal, man, to open your
Yes.
mouth and say that this which is of God is not good?
Hmm. Interesting.
Wow.
Because man believes that he is equal to God. That's why he passed judgment. And we know
Mm,
that's not what we're supposed to do. We're not
that's a
supposed to pass
powerful one.
unrighteous judgment. We're just
I
not.
just invited Judy Palin, another girl that I just love so dearly. But I
Hi,
love
Judy.
that mindset, because man has now assumed,
Uh-huh.
has now
Yeah,
assumed the persona of God, which
that's
I
right.
think in on its own is sinful if you want to go there, right?
It's blasphemy. It's
It's
blasphemy.
blasphemy too.
Yes. Yes. It's blasphemy. So we
And of
have to just
all the
do what
things that God creates, go ahead,
we just have to do what God told us to do. Love. Let
unconditionally.
love have its perfect work. Stop trying to figure things out. Just love the people. That's it. Just love them. That's it.
Amazing.
All people.
All people. And that's why I think one of the most shocking experiences that I have experienced is when I see someone who is either black
Uh-huh.
being homophobic, or someone who is
Ah,
queer being racist.
ah.
Because it's like, I think we don't understand that we're all in the same bucket.
That's right.
We really should be, there should be nobody better than the other. But more
That's right.
so, yeah, more so when you find that How do you justify that?
Well, it's like this. It's like saying, I know that I'm bad, but I'm not that bad. So there's always, I mean, that's what it is. So people try to look and find what they deem as a fault in someone. And they say, oh, I'm not that. So that's
I'm
what they
not that
do.
bad. Yes, thank you. Well, I mean, I might be bad, but I'm not that. I'm not Dr. Lulu bad. I'm not
Uh-huh.
Shwanda bad. I'm not
Uh-huh.
Judy bad. No, no, no. Judy bad. Oh Lord, no. Oh, I'm better.
Yeah.
But then what I read from one of the philosophers is that what you see in a person as inadequate truly is
Mm-hmm.
what you replace what is, because if we are made in the creator's image and likeness, then that means when I
Yes.
see Shawanda, I should
Yes.
only see beauty, right? But when I see
Right.
Shawanda, I say, wait, Shawanda wears glasses. Oh Lord.
Yeah.
But the truth is, it's because I wear glasses that I
Uh-huh.
see the glasses in Shawanda.
Uh-huh.
When
Yes.
I see Shawanda's got sister locks, oh goodness. But wait, it's because I have sister locks. That's why I see
Yeah.
sister locks in Shawanda. So what do I think about my sister locks? Do I think
Uh-huh.
my sister locks are beautiful? Or do I see my sister locks as a deficiency? Then I see Shawanda's sister locks as a defect.
That's a
Do you see
deficient.
that?
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, yes. That's true.
You gotta
That's
come
right.
down to the little grains, bring it down to the tiny little grains for some people to
Yeah.
understand that when I see something I say is not good in you, it's because I know that I have that. And you know what? Let me pick on Shawanda.
There you have it.
How does that make me feel better though?
It's just a very twisted way of thinking. It's a
Yes.
very twisted way of thinking.
Wow.
Instead of uplifting one another, edifying one another, exhorting one another, um, lifting people, provoking people to good works, what we do is that we try to bring them down because we reflect on people. So if I hate me, I'm going to hate you. If I don't
Yes.
respect myself, I won't respect you. And so we have to be very careful with that because we actually do it in every facet of our life if we don't learn to love ourselves. See, a person who loves themselves, I was telling my friend, I said, a person who loves themselves can walk up to any woman, any person and say, oh my God, you're so beautiful. You know
Beautiful.
why? Because they believe in themselves are beautiful. Themselves are beautiful. So when I
Yes.
can walk up to anybody and say, oh my God, you're so awesome. Look how fine you are. Why? Because it's how I see myself. And if I see myself that way, not necessarily always outer beauty, but if I see myself as worthy, I see you as worthy.
It's
Yes.
because we have to get out of this mentality of the pie is not enough. There's enough to
Yeah,
go around. I love
that's
that. If I
right.
see myself as worthy, then I too see you as worthy. Ultimately,
Yeah,
that's all that we're asked to do on this earth, to be here to help each other, to be each other's keeper, each
that's
other's
right.
wingman. But if
That's
you're
right.
too busy tearing, when are you being a wingman then? When are you
Never.
being a wingman?
It's unbelievable. And we should always be our brother's keeper. I like what Ialala Van Sant said. She says, not that I'm my sister's keeper, I am my sister.
Period.
Period. I am my sister.
And you know, it's
Yeah.
funny you said that. It's funny you said that. But we have to see each other. Really, we have to see each other as our as ourselves. In other words, not as a different individual. Because
Yeah.
if you cut Shawanda's skin,
Uh-huh.
the blood is the same shade red as
Yes.
Dr. Lulu's skin. There's
That's
nothing
right.
different. The liver is the same. Everything is the same.
That's
The
right.
only thing is the
Yeah.
external. That's why I like what you said about is the spirit that we're looking for, the inside, the one that we can't see. That's the
Yeah.
one that we need to try to connect with. connect
So
with
for
the spirit.
Your Bible watchers, they know it says, the Bible says that God does not judge the altar, but he looks at the heart. And it tells mankind to test the spirit. It doesn't say test the person.
Oh,
It says test the spirit.
I'm so
So
happy
I,
that I have a Bible total today, because I will have never even thought about that. You're right. And look at what Jesus says. Jesus says we are called to lift up, edify, and encourage one another as God loved us. Try love before judgment. That's it.
that's
That's it.
right. That's right.
That's it. But you know what?
Yeah.
Shwanda, say that again, because I love the way that landed.
We test the spirit. The first thing the Bible tells us is that God, that he doesn't look at the outer appearance. So that anything that you can do with this body is not something God is concerned about. He said he looks at the heart. Man looks at the outer appearance, but God looks at the heart. Then the Bible says, test the spirit to see whether it be of God. That has nothing to do with outer things.
Oh my God.
That has all to do with your spirit. And because we have very little spiritual depth, we don't understand what the Lord is telling us to do. So everyone you meet.
But Shwanda, why do you think this basic information is eluded by most, not all, because it never say all, most
Yeah,
Africans, because we're both African. Let's go there first.
yeah,
Most African,
yeah.
Jamaican, whatever,
Uh-huh.
Eritrean, Black people overall, as humans, why do you think that that little basic information, why do they skip, they do hopscotch and pick the verses that they want to land on? You know,
Right.
land on this one, land on that one, avoid this. Why are we doing that? Why?
Because we have within diaspora, believe it or not, there's an inward hatred that we have for ourselves. And anything that is going to try to put one of us in our place, right, we'll do it. So we were placed in our place with colonization in countries in Africa, right? And we understand the history of the islands and the history of America. Black Africans were put in their place. And so, when a person is abused and they haven't overcome the abuse, what do? They abuse. So you
I say that
abuse the
all the
power.
time. I say that all the time, all the time. Hurt people who don't get
Hurt
heard.
people.
Hurt people, yes. You have to first get hurt.
Love
Then
it.
your hurt is
I love it.
unresolved. It's
Yes.
unresolved. Because if it's resolved,
Uh-huh.
then you're normal, if there's such a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So hurt people who are not heard hurts
Yes,
people.
that's it.
I love that, Dr. Lulu. I love
You
that.
have to be hurt and still be in your hurt state.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
all
Yes.
you
Yes.
know is hurt.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then and that's why at the beginning of this conversation we talked about this little child who was
Uh-huh.
hurt by the closest people to him,
Yeah.
the most important people in his life. And then they put the
Mm-hmm.
video out there. The video went viral. He's going to go
Mm-hmm.
back to school and
Mm-hmm.
meet other little children who don't know anything but to propagate pain and bullying. So this little boy's life, as far as I'm concerned, is in danger. Is in
That's true.
grave danger.
That's true. Wow.
And
So
then they made
sad.
him go on social media and
Mm.
take up sides for his
Mm.
family. Can you see the
Wow.
amount of trauma that this little boy is being subject? Oh my God.
Oh my God. I can't imagine.
I can't
Mm.
imagine.
Mm. Mm. Unbelievable. So sad.
Unbelievable.
And these are
And
the
I and I
children
and
that
I
I have to,
maintain. Go ahead, go ahead.
these are the children that I have to, you
Yeah,
see,
exactly.
these are the children that I have to mother.
Yes.
These are the children that I have to say, it's okay. These are the children that I have to tell them that you are somebody. I have to affirm them. I have to exalt them. I have to edify. I have to make sure that I speak life into them. I speak life
Yes.
into them. And that's my platform. I'm always talking about encouragement, 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 because a lot of these children need it. If you don't tell that child there's somebody, you never know what's being told to that child. So you have to feed it every
And then
hour.
sadly, we cut short
Uh-huh.
this beautiful life
Mm-hmm.
that was probably destined for greatness. And we
Yeah.
have, with the power of our tongue, cut this
Mm-hmm.
boy's life
That's
short.
true. That's true.
Now, even if we don't kill him physically,
He's still spiritual.
we have planted so much negativity in his spirit. This boy was being abused by at least 5 or 6 adults. I'm not talking
Ah,
about one. Yeah, I'm not talking about one parent. I'm talking about multiple adult family members in the
that's
name
horrible.
of God, in the name of religion.
Oh
I want you to
no.
see what I'm talking about here.
I have to see that video. I haven't
I,
seen it.
I will not, I can't. I cannot, because I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do to
Okay.
my poor little phone.
Oh my God.
So
Yeah.
as we wind down to the
Hmm.
last quarter, what, if any, advice do you have, Shwanda, for a parent who ceases to see their child as whole, as a gift, as almost as an equal, because the child is human first?
Hmm.
What words
Hmm.
of advice? And I think, wow, Dr. That the parent sees the child as an equal human
Hmm.
first.
Yeah. What I would recommend, especially for since this the particular video that you're talking about is a parent that were Christian, I think they were Christian, right? Okay, well then we know the Bible. Now, one thing about me, I know the Bible from Genesis to Revelation.
Amen.
So the Bible tells us, it says that children are a blessing from the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward.
Yeah.
So that, what do you do when God gives you a gift? That child is a gift from God. And you don't when you don't see the child as a reward from the Lord, the fruit of the womb is God's reward to us.
Hmm.
And if you don't see your child as a reward, then you're telling God, you're spitting in God's face and saying, I
Yes.
don't appreciate what you gave me.
Yes.
Can you imagine giving your child the most expensive gift? Like you buy him a new Mercedes and say, yes. And then he goes out there and he cuts up the seats. He goes out there and he puts a knife in the tires. He goes out there and he scratched the entire exterior. That's what we do when our children come out to us. Our children want to be who they are. And then we tell them, I don't embrace you. Well, the Bible didn't say the fruit of the womb is God's reward only if it's straight. That's not
Exactly.
what it
Oh,
says.
I
It
am
says the
loving, I'm
fruit of the
hugging you,
womb.
I'm loving on you so much today. I mean, I'm gonna go back and listen to this episode and just dissect your words. God did not say, here's your reward, but only if.
He's straight.
I
That's not what
love the
God
way you
said.
put it about. I like the example of the Mercedes. Imagine if you give your child the best gift from your heart, and your child is like, this
Yeah.
gift, what?
It didn't come packaged the way I thought it should come
Oh, yeah, yeah,
packaged.
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is not how I thought it'd be. So you're telling God, okay, I don't like anything you give me. Your reward to me is not good enough. So that's why it's so important that we look at it, especially since these parents were allegedly Christian. I question when people say they're Christian. Oh, I question it today.
I like allegedly. I love allegedly. Qualify it, because thankfully some of the younger, well, first of all, children are very accepting.
Yeah. Oh,
So I'm
yeah.
praying on that little boy. I'm praying that when he gets to school this fall, he will find nothing but kind adults. and his
Yes.
doors open, embracing
Yeah.
arms, and even children that see him for who he is and accept him. Because here's the thing, the foster
Mm-hmm.
system in America is another whole nother dragon.
Yes.
And we don't
Yes.
know who this child is going to be. So we're praying and blessing God and
Mm-hmm.
manifesting a family that has an open heart and an open
Yes,
mind
right.
for this boy.
That's right.
Because tomorrow it's kids like
Mm-hmm.
him that become a statistic.
They sure do.
And I know in my heart of hearts that if it had been a white family that did that to this black boy, every black family today will be up in arms. I
Yeah.
know it's in my heart.
Yeah.
But it's okay
Yeah.
for us to look the other way because it's black on black crime.
Yeah. It is so accepted. So, and that's why I just believe that, you know, in our community, in the Black community, all encompassing diaspora, we have made it so, we try to shame and bash our people so bad that they totally have to separate themselves from Black people in order to be accepted. I'm telling you, I noticed it. I said,
I believe it.
okay, yeah. They have to separate themselves from us because we don't know what love agape is. We don't know what
Yes.
agape love is. We don't understand the love of God. We're always operating in our gut level than our spirit level. And that's not where we're supposed to operate. We operate on the spiritual level and not our gut instinct, because our gut instinct doesn't work. Discernment comes from the heart. It comes from the spirit. And if you saw a person and you're not looking at the outer appearance, then you're able to deal with that person and love that person based on the experience. We are the only ones that God has given us that spiritual discernment to test the spirit. Most animals deal with the gut level. There's something in their gut that tells them something, but not us. We are very wise. We're just a little lower than the angels. So surely we should be able to see another spirit and be able to connect with that spirit because we're all spiritual beings.
Shwanda, you are preaching today. You know what? I will come to your church. I'm going to say it right now. You should be a motivational speaker. You are definitely a fisher of men because you
Oh,
dare
praise
to
God.
see us, you or women, whatever. You dare
Yes.
to see us as equals. This is so important.
Uh,
And welcome to the party, Arenzo. Arenzo is another brother that has been through. Arenzo was actually here on Saturday when we were talking about that little boy. And Arenzo said that that was his own personal experience with his own family too.
I'm
Yes,
so sorry.
yes,
I'm so sorry. So
yes,
sorry. Wow. Wow.
yes.
Mm.
So if you're just joining
My.
us, you missed the party. We had a great party, but you know, every good thing has to come to an end. But welcome to the show. It's called the Pride Corner. You know, our
Yes.
coming out stories and more with me, Dr.
Yes.
Lulu, and my beautiful guest today, Shwanda, who dared to go there and talk about we need to practice agape love and see
Yes.
each other as humans first. And I
Yes.
added
Yes.
that parents must see their kids as equal humans. I have
Yes.
not said your child is your equal in any other way except that the spirit is equal. And
Yes.
that's why when Jesus was 12, he was
Come
able
on.
to go to the synagogue and preach to the adults because
Yes.
he
Yes.
was that they're as their equal or even as their superior.
Yes.
We have to see that children are not below us or beneath us and stop finding faults in our own children,
That's
finding
right.
faults in our kids when there are people out there looking for one child and they can't even find half a child. And then God gives
That's
you a child and your job is to, oh, I don't know. This one is gay. This one is such and such black. This one is, I don't know, redhead. Oh,
yeah. That's man and his corrupt heart.
yes.
That's the corruptness of man's heart, and that's not how it's supposed to be. So I always tell people, I said, if anyone's going to go to hell, it's not going to be, you're going to be shocked at people that's in heaven, because you have
Yes,
placed people in hell that God
yes,
had never placed in hell, because God is looking at the spirit and you're
spirit.
looking at the outer appearance. So that's why you're going to be shocked, and you may find yourself with all your Bible toting, Bible all flashing down in hell with the other people and wondering how this person got there. They got there because they understand that God is a spirit. And you please it that those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in
Mm.
truth. Yeah.
And it's good that we're talking about this, because even the Bible itself talks about how people go to the synagogue and you are given
Mm-hmm.
directive on how to pray in the synagogue.
Mm-hmm.
So yes,
Yes.
be very careful about those who are screaming and shouting, "Oh God, I'm so perfect that I know that I am all yours already." Be very careful.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
When you pray, you
Absolutely.
should go down in the quiet where your spirit will be accepted and seen in the quiet in all of
Yes.
humility. That's
Yes.
why Jesus exalted the woman and said, if I could just touch a piece of his cloak. That is
Yes. Yes.
belief.
Yes.
That is the highest level of belief system.
Mm.
She
Mm-hmm.
believed without any doubt in her mind that
Yeah.
that's all she
Yes.
needed, and she will be made whole, and she was made whole.
That's so true.
But if we're here
Mm-hmm.
saying, you know what, I'm better than you anyway,
Hmm.
because that little boy, what they've done is set him up for one of two things:
Hmm.
either to take his life when he gets older,
Mm.
even now, even because
Mm.
the youngest child in the world who is
Mm.
known to die by suicide was five.
Oh my
5 years
God.
old. And
Oh my
so
God.
I don't know how old the boy is. I put him between 7 and 9 because I saw his face
Mm-hmm.
one time and then I didn't watch the video again. I just
Mm-hmm.
guessed 9, between 7 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
But he, in other
Mm-hmm.
words, he's not too young.
Mm. Mm.
Or they
Mm.
set him up for success because maybe someone like maybe Tyler Perry or Oprah, somebody who is able to help him, or maybe even a regular person who has the
Mm-hmm.
love of God in their hearts, will see this
Mm-hmm.
boy and hopefully adopt him or whatever, and then
Mm-hmm.
he's set.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know
Mm-hmm.
yet. We can just
Yeah.
pray and believe. So before I let you go, where can the viewers and the listeners find you? Do you have your own business? Do you have a book you wrote? Is there
Oh my goodness. Dr. Lulu. Well, yes, I shameless plug.
do you have
Well,
a
we do
book
have
you
the
wrote?
Warrior Women
Do you have a
Project, yes.
business? Do you have something that they can follow you? Otherwise, just tell us your Instagram. And if you can hear my voice, please do us a favor and follow Shwanda. Follow me if you don't follow me already, so you can get a notification every time I go live. I go live
Yes.
every day at 1 p.m. through the month of June. And then if in
Okay.
July, I have a few people that I've already scheduled also.
Mm-hmm.
And these are going to be uploaded into my YouTube channel and my podcast that is coming. So Shwanda, where can the viewers find you?
On Instagram is Shwanda Onwachi. On Facebook, it's Shwanda Ifoma Onwachi. And that's how you can locate me. Always talking about inspiration and lifting you up only. That's what it's all about.
That's it. That's all we're asked to do anyway. So
Yeah.
thank you all so much for joining us. We were joined by a bunch of people, actually. And thank you, Judy. I
Okay.
saw your comments. Judy, the last one you said was, we will all be held accountable for our actions and our thoughts before,
Wow.
exactly, before our
Absolutely.
Creator. That's it. That's it. So
That's right.
thank you all so much. Shwanda, all the best with your journey this week. I'm rooting for
Yes.
you. I'm praying for you. Everything is going to go well. We'll see
Thank
you
you.
on the flip side when you come back to us. We'll
Yes.
be there waiting with open arms. Thank you all so much
Thank
for
you.
joining us. My name is Dr. Lulu. I also have a TikTok channel that I'm trying to promote. Is at you Uchenna, or just type in Dr. Lulu and you see my beautiful face, giving you daily tips on queer parenting. I don't think I have all the answers. I don't think anybody has all the answers. But I think I can tell you, though, that you know in your heart when you're doing right and when you're doing wrong. And you know you know. And so if you can just lean into that, I think we'll be fine. All right, Shwanda, any going away, I don't like to say final words. Any going away words for the people?
As always, guys, make sure you have peace always within you.